And the shot is good. And that's now 7 points for DeMar DeRozan.
Well, it's kind of been the story here today, hasn't it, Clark?
And we're just about a minute and a half into the third quarter of basketball. Wall attacking. And again, Washington no good.
Ugly start to this second half, guys. They've missed all 4 of their shot attempts.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time getting the lid off the basket so far.
The timely screen gave him a step, and he took it all the way.
Finally get one to drop after starting the half with 4 straight clanks.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the game here.
The Raptors one of the top defensive teams in the league last season. Not something we've historically associated with this franchise, but give credit to Dwayne Casey and his staff. I mean, they've got this young team competing at that end of the floor, and that's where it starts if you're going to be good defensively. You've got to want to play at that end of the floor.
Raptors leading by 10. Johnson kicks to Love. Good, and it's Johnson with the assist that time. Johnson's got 5 assists in the game.
You know, one aspect of their play today that's really been tight and far superior is their passing.
Agreed. I mean, you look at the points. I mean, they're getting a lot of baskets off of assists, so the offense really clicking here.
Here's DeRozan. After marching Gortat's bucket. Goes straight through the defender for the dunk. Draws the foul. He'll go to the line. That's on Paul Pierce.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Well, they already had him staggered, and now all of a sudden they're throwing some haymakers.
Porter's checked in for the Wizards. Sessions comes in for John Wall.
Obvious foul.
Yeah, he took a hit right there and earned those free throws.
Washington shooting their 6th and 7th free throw attempts tonight.
Otto Porter, the 3rd overall pick in last year's draft out of Georgetown, touted as one of the most NBA-ready players in the draft, but a hip injury cost him the first month of the season, and he never really could get into the rotation.
The 19-foot shot misses off the left iron.
You know, he's so confident, sometimes to a fault, and that showed right there. That's a bad shot.
Exactly. I mean, that's self-inflicted damage right there. There are a lot better options than what he took.
Washington making some changes. Kevin Seraphin, he's checked in for Gortat. Humphries comes in for Nene. And it's Butler in for Paul Pierce. And for Otto Porter, not a consistent rotational player last season for the Washington Wizards, Clark. And given their spotty history in the draft, you'd forgive the fans for getting just a little bit nervous with this guy.
Yeah, you know what? I would tell the fans to be patient. I'm a little disappointed. I thought Otto Porter would emerge sooner than he has, but you can't give up on young players. He didn't shoot the ball well as a rookie. He did show you a versatile skill set with the Hoyas, so perhaps year 2 will be a better year for him.
Here's Humphries. The rebound by Johnson. Johnson's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Toronto calls timeout.
Amir Johnson drafted straight out of high school back in 2005. Now in his 10th season in the NBA, and he's only entering his prime now.
And the Raptors going out now with a whole new group. Right side, Williams. He dishes it to Patterson. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Williams. Patterson's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
And, you know, I'm all for young players going to college to develop, not only athletically, but socially and personally. But Amir Johnson is an example of a player who came straight out of high school, didn't play a whole lot at first, but has continued to work and has really rounded into a valuable player now.
Williams passes to Ross. Clock at 6. Hands Hansbrough. That's good.
No matter what they've tried, the D just has not been able to deny them the ball in the paint.
That's been so critical, Clark, because whenever they have gotten the ball into the paint, it's resulted in points, it seems like.
Now, here is Humphries. Hits the jump hook. Humphries has got 4 points now in the quarter.
Looked like the defense kind of backed off him, and he took advantage.
Williams kicks to Vasquez. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Raptors lead by 13. Toronto leading by 13. James Johnson is out there with Patrick Patterson. Then it's Terrence Ross. Then there's Tyler Hansbrough. And it's Williams at the 1. That's the 5 out there for the Raptors.
Fellas, that two-hand monster slam was vicious.
I don't think there was any. Oh!
Unbelievable.
How did he do that?
Is there a dunk contest judge in the house? Because if so, this guy's trying to impress him.
Those kinds of dunks are reputation builders.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, he just gave this crowd their money's worth, that's for sure.
And there's the call on Lewis Williams. That's his first foul. It's Wall with the drive. Here's for 3. That's good. And so Wall with the assist.
The defender there in the neighborhood, but not quite close enough. Good shot.
Kicks it out to Johnson. Johnson draws the double. And Hansbrough slams it in.
What a floor leader he's been at the offensive end.
You know, he's done a terrific job of moving the ball around, sharing it, dispersing it, and running the show.
Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Yes, Kevin, Randy Whitman had some words for his team over the break. He was not happy with their play to this point, telling them we're getting out hustled, plain and simple. There's still time, but we've got to dial up our effort. Kevin, we'll see if they have enough to get it done.
Patterson dishes to Johnson. Good.
What an impossible shot to block in the post. The defender, giving up so much size, there's no way he's going to get a hand on him.
And Wall kicks to Beal. Here's Gortat. It's hauled in by the Raptors.
Such a solid performance for them inside. Their rebounding has been terrific.
Yeah, that's just one of the few things that have gone their way today.
Ross kicks to Johnson. Hansbrough setting the pick for Johnson. 6 on the shot clock. Stayed with it, but they couldn't get it to fall. Outside, Wall. Back to Pierce. Lets it go from 14. Again, Pierce missing.
Boy, I tell you what, the complexion of this game would be completely different if he'd shot the ball anything like he's capable of.
Toronto calls timeout.
Paul Pierce, at one time a franchise talent and elite two-way player, now a self-described role player. He's a heck of a good one, too. A great scorer, can shoot, drive, and get to the line.
A new group in now for the Raptors. Valanciunas, he's checked in for Hansbrough. Johnson comes in for Patrick Patterson. DeMar DeRozan, he's checked in for Johnson. And it's Kyle Lowry in for Williams. Garrett Temple is checked in for Washington. And Paul Pierce is always love those elbows.
Yeah, and he's such a good ball handler and so crafty in getting to his spots and able to put the defense on its heels. Not overly athletic. You think about Paul Pierce, he's never one to overwhelm you with athleticism, but man, can he play some basketball.
Defensive foul. Paul Pierce. That's his second.
Knocked away. And that's out of bounds. Toronto will retain possession.
Out of bounds. Remains Toronto ball.
1:56 left left in the fourth quarter. Here's Valanciunas, and he converts the layup. Valanciunas has got 4 this quarter.
And now we can see them really working it inside.
Taking advantage of the defense, really pounding it down low.
Washington calls timeout. They're trailing by 18. 1:51 left in the fourth quarter.
Valanciunas, a young big man with some offensive promise. He can score on the left block. He's developing a nice touch from mid-range. Very intriguing player with that size and skill set.
And a new group getting ready to come in for Washington. Here's Temple. An absolute bomb from three-point range.
You might not think of him as a laser three-point shooter, but that shot was there for him, and he had to take it.
And Valanciunas, a mobile 7-footer with good hands. That's a nice start.
It's always a great place to start when you're a big guy. Can you catch it? And not only good passes, but can you catch bad ones and finish around the rim? He can do all of that.
Here's Temple. That's in, coming off the assist from Bynum. Temple's got a couple of three-pointers now in the fourth for the Wizards.
There's 6 points on consecutive three balls. They're finding holes in this defense.
Should be easy to correct, though, if you start making the right rotations defensively.
A career best performance from Kyle Lowry last season, posting best in scoring and assists. A lot of people felt like he was the player most egregiously overlooked when it came to the All-Star game.
And this is what they wanted, to announce their presence in this matchup with authority. Very decisive. And I think it can be considered a statement win for Toronto.
Clark, this was a physical game.
Yeah, but the awareness they had offensively to penetrate really was the difference.
Beyond the actual result of this game, I think fans are going to look back and see this was just a monstrous performance for Kyle Lowry. Every time he shot it seemed like it was just going to drop in, and nobody was surprised.
And Lowry, arguably the Raptors' best player last season. Despite that, Steve, he was the subject of repeated trade rumors.
Well, it was such a curious situation for Toronto. On one hand, you know, they were trying to rebuild at the beginning of the season, maybe get a top draft pick, and then all of a sudden they started playing well. In the end, no trade. You know, Lowry becomes their best player, and then, you know, he leads them to a top 3 seed in the playoffs. So it's kind of a strange season.
Toronto calls timeout. They're leading by 17. 44 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Some changes for Toronto. Here is Vasquez. It's tipped. Porter with it. Here's Temple. And the 3 off target. Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. On the wing, Williams. Pass to Vasquez. And it's Otto Porter with the foul. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line.
14 foul. Shooting for Toronto.
That one is off.
At the line for 2.
He hits the second from the line. Now Humphries. From deep. Temple can't get it to go. And so Toronto takes this one, but by a big margin. They put on a show tonight, thoroughly controlling each end of the floor.
Hey, what more can you ask?
Thank you for joining us for this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark